Cool. And we're back again. Yeah Buddy Podcast, episode 18. I'm Mike.
I'm Johnny.
And we've got Eugene on camera. And today we've got the lovely Rebecca Aminiel.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a bit nervous.
Okay.
Yeah, but excited nervous.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So I'm happy to be here.
I'm looking at your star now at the moment, and this dates all the way back to 2009. I'm struggling to see how you're nervous.
I know.
With the amount of stuff that you've got on here.
I know. It's because it's been a while, you know.
Butterflies stage. What do they call it before you go on stage?
Stage fright, no?
When you get butterflies in your stomach, that kind of nervous.
Yeah, like stage fright.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good nervous.
Didn't I just say that?
Yeah, no, but because you both said it, you got
You're an actor.
You got
You're an
co-signed.
actor, yeah?
I didn't know if it had a different terminology because of the butterflies.
It's the same. But before we start anyway, because I didn't introduce the stuff that you do. Creative director, model, catwalk coach, empowerment workshops. You're a wonderful person that does so many wonderful things. So take it away to you.
Yeah, I have done quite a lot. I think I start from the beginning. I got into the entertainment industry from quite a young age. I think I was like about 14. I had my first job as a PA for a radio DJ. And then soon after I got into modelling. I was scouted as a model. So I done that for a few years. And then I studied theatre. So I got more into backstage and working on shows, choreographing shows, backstage management. And then, I actually had a breakdown.
Okay.
So I lost quite a few people in a small space of time. So, kind of my career kind of stopped for a while. And I had realised at that point there were so many people to kind of take you up to the top. And there was not many people to catch you kind of when you fall. Okay. So I felt like there's something missing here. Like there's something I can do here. There's like, as a model, there was so much support or so much training on how to be confident, like outer confidence, how to show your confidence. But there was nothing to support your well-being. We weren't really treated much as humans, more just kind of like on the catwalk, off the catwalk, on camera, off camera. Like there was just something missing. So I started the classes, which are a combination of runway walk techniques and self-development techniques. So it's a combination of the both. And those are the classes that I'm running at the moment. So one of the
ones that I saw, I think it was on your Instagram profile. It was about empowerment. So it was a runway class. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was based around confidence. Yeah. So one of the things I just wanted to ask you is, when you're in front of the camera, when people generally tend to be in front of the camera in public roles, how you teach people to be confident and not have that kind of tip over into arrogance. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So how you differentiate between the two, and stop one becoming the other.
I think it's important to have a balance and to be able to show confidence without arrogance. Mm-hmm. There's a number of techniques and tools that I do teach, mainly to do with the mind. Okay. The power of the mind, the power of your thoughts and how they affect your confidence. And, I always say that confidence is not walking into a room thinking that you're better than everyone. It's having the confidence in yourself and being assured in yourself, knowing you don't have to compare yourself. And I think that's a big thing that people get confused with, comparison and confidence. Like often people are just, it's like, I'm better than you, or, I've got this and I've got that, which makes me more, makes me...
Well, it makes you better than
more important. Yeah.
Agreed. And I think to add to that, it's very much of how society's gone at the moment, isn't it? It's in comparison. Social media is a comparison. It's I've got more stuff than you, rather than, as you said, I'm in my own competition with my own self. It's not I'm competing with you. But it's quite funny you said about the the confidence without being arrogant. I saw on your Instagram, you're walking through, is it Tesco's?
Yeah.
And you're just power walking. I was like, yeah, go girl. But that was good because you had the guys, I think the school age kids, turning around looking. And it was good because I was like, that's what it is. That's confidence, but not coming across arrogant, you know. So I'm confident in myself. I'm happy who I am, and I'm showcasing this, you know.
Exactly.
I'm proud of who I am. So that was quite nice. I did. Yeah, it made me giggle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more focusing on what you have and instead of what you don't have, and and developing what you have, because often we don't usually spend the time to develop the skills or the experiences we've had that makes us who we are. We're more focused on what we want.
Yeah.
So that's what I try and teach in my classes. Yeah.
With the obviously we've mentioned social media there, and one-upmanship, if you want to put it like that. But and you're saying the industry not necessarily being there in all aspects that they could be when a model is on the decline. So when you started modeling, was it before social media really took off, or is it coincided with the same?
Yeah, for me, it was on the come up.
It was on the come up.
Yeah, and it was mainly more like my team, because I had a team at that time, management, makeup, hair. You know, I had a full team that was working for me, and it's time. I think when you have traumas or when you have things happening, it's the time that you need to take to heal. And when you're on the come up, there's no time for that, really. Like, it's like, if you're not ready, then
you miss the opportunity.
Yeah,
you get someone else
on the go. It's 24. It's like, and everyone else is coming up as well. So if you don't have that time, then we're not interested. And that's what I felt. Well, that's what I received when, you know, I was going through what I went through. So yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. So having a look, you said you started from a young age. So when you were running around the house and all that sort of stuff, were you doing performance stuff to your parents and family? And
do you know what? I'll tell you a funny story. When I had my first job, I was 14. I remember I woke up at it was 4 a.m. and we had to be at the radio station for 6. So I had to be at, Victoria quite early in the morning. And I didn't tell my siblings. I just kind of 14-year-old got up 4 a.m. in the morning, sneaked out the house, made my way to Victoria, met Kenny Allstar, who I was working with, turned around and I saw my sister and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, you're 14, you're sneaking out the house. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to work. So I feel like I've always had that drive, you know, from a really young age. I've always had the creative kind of mindset. I loved the networking. I loved meeting new people. And I think that's what kept me on the go. Yeah. So
with Kenny, you was PA?
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that come about?
I was a bit of a party girl.
At 14?
At 14, yeah, because I had fake ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be difficult in this day and age, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't happen now.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work.
It's different now.
So networking on the party scene?
Yeah. So he was, DJing at a lot of the house parties at that time. And, I was quite well known at that time as well. So it was, we ran in the same circles.
Okay.
And yes.
So it's an opportunity. Did you obviously you take things on board, but is there stuff that you learnt from being a PA at such a young age that you use in your daily life now? Most definitely.
Yeah. I think that's the time I learned how to network. At that age, because a lot of the things I was doing for him was like reaching out to artists, trying to get shout outs, reaching out to other radio stations, trying to get promotion and pushing all of that. So that was me at 14, 15.
That's decent.
Yeah.
And then after that, so then 14 till 16, 17, what was the journey after that?
It was just modelling.
So how did that come up?
I got scouted to work with a woman who had a hair salon.
Okay.
So, yeah, like they did up my hair and makeup. I done my first shoot. I got like the shop window, which was quite big in my area. And then I didn't look back.
Yeah,
I
shop
loved it.
window being, help me out in the shop window. So
of the hair salon.
Okay, so your pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, on there. Okay.
So
For some reason, I had like a mannequin.
Thing.
You're standing there posing, and people walk by and take pictures. But it's your picture was in the window.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you. How was that? Parents come by, and you're like
everyone. It was because it was in a local. It was in a local area, so everyone saw it, and it was it was big for me because it's not something I planned. I was literally just stopped, and she asked me, and I said yes. And then, it was the first time I had ever posed. It was the first time I had been in that kind of environment, and I didn't look back. I didn't look back. And then I think my first music video was with like Jessie J. I think when I first started music videos, I think that's when I found my love in the industry. That when it came to modeling. Yeah. Because it was a combination of acting,
and dancing as well. Yeah.
Modeling, and I was like, in my element. I was like, I found it.
So how does that type of opportunity come? So you're in the windows, and then is it just back to networking? You're then just knocking on doors, and someone says, okay, we've got a video, we need 3 or 4 girls. We've got this girl, would be ideal, and then it goes from there, and it's just referrals, and it passes from there.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, at the time, it was more about who you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and just having the right connections. I think for me it was because when I'm on set, it's not just associating with the models. It was like, I need to know that director. Yep. I need to know that photographer, that videographer. He's doing backstage. I need to know him. Like, it was having that kind of mindset.
So you're working the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation the other day. On Tuesday. No, it's because I was speaking to the director of this thing that I'm doing at the minute, and I was just laughing while they were doing something. He's like, "You're always laughing," and I was like, "Why not?" And because he was just apologising for the length of time that we were having to wait for them to set this up, and I was laughing, and I said, "Oh, do you know what? I read this book once, Bernard Hillier, and it was called Stop Acting, Start Living." And it was, he said, literally just speak to 5 different people every day that you don't know. Even if you go into Tesco's and it's the lady behind the counter, talk to them and just be nice to everybody, because you never know who they are and when you might get an opportunity.
Which is what goes back to being a PA, every single person you talk to could potentially be an opportunity, and they can open up a door. So I agree with that. I've done it all the time. Yeah. Just talk to people for the sake of it. Just talk to them.
Well, we talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, we met at a casting. A casting for, was it a debate show?
It was a debate show, yeah.
I was getting a bit of a bollocking. He came to my rescue, and from there we butted ideas, and now we have a podcast. So it's the power of networking and just being opportunistic.
Yeah, I think it's also important is that you never know where another person's going to be in the next 5 years. Yeah. Or even in the next 2 years. Because I remember being on set for like a music video, and there was a runner who I networked with. And then a couple years later, they were working as a director for ITV.
Wow. Okay.
And because we had met already, they called me for like an opportunity on ITV. And it's literally like networking is the one,
Yeah, that's good. I think, no, it wasn't on when we were recording, but you were talking about ballet.
Yes.
When I came into the room.
So when I did a bit of research on you, because it was good to research, I noticed that you did ballet.
I did.
And you were doing training for ballet, and then you also performed at, don't butcher this, Mike, it was the Royal Opera House. Tell me about that, like the training itself, because my background is in fitness and training. Tell me about the training. Tell me about the long hours and even the performances that you did.
Okay, so I started off in primary school. So I was about maybe 5, and they came in to scout. They were doing a program called Chance to Dance. Okay. And it was just, you had the chance to go into ballet, basically. And I had an audition. They came to the school. I had an audition. There was about 5 of us that got through. And I continued that for about 5 years. Then I went into contemporary.
Okay.
But to be honest, I used to regret not continuing the training because it was so intense. Like, I remember crying every day I left training.
Okay.
Because it was just so intense.
So what, the feet, ankles, discomfort, what else was it? Lower back.
I'm thinking it's them. The tiny shoes, because they've got.
It is the tiny shoes.
Because I always used to think that you were standing on your tiptoes, but then there's actually some kind of plating or the support at the bottom.
But I was young, so we didn't have the shoes as of yet. But even just like, I remember being on the floor in the studio, and our teacher, and we will have our legs kind of open, and our teacher will push our back to make sure, you know, to stretch our flexibility.
Okay.
So we're, you know, to learn how to do the splits at that age. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. Like, it was just so much, but it's worth it, I guess, in the long run. And yeah, it's a shame I didn't continue, but it was a great experience anyway, and it was great training to have, great discipline also. And yeah, but it opened the doors into contemporary, which I found was a bit more laid back. It was a bit more easy, and yeah, so it took me into that direction.
What was the performance at the, what did you say it was, the Royal Opera House?
So so we done the training at the Royal Opera House, and then our performances were that once a year. You know, going from being a tree to doing main parts. So yeah, but I was quite young.
And with the contemporary stuff, do you still dance now?
I don't know.
Like for enjoyment, or
I mean,
just have a little shack out in your house or something like that.
Yeah, you know, in a bedroom.
Yeah, it's because when I watch, what are they doing at the minute? The Masked Dancer.
Yeah, the Masked. The singer?
No, they're doing the Masked Dancer.
Oh, they got a dancer now?
Yeah, the Masked Dancer. I think it's finished. I think the final was on. The final might be this weekend.
What station's that on?
ITV, isn't it?
No, it's the Masked Singer, no?
No. They've done the Masked Singer.
And now it's a dancer.
And now it's the Masked Dancer.
Wow, they're milking this.
I did not know.
Yeah. Because I just randomly flicked onto it at the weekend, and I was just thinking, how is this entertainment? But I was saying with contemporary, so when you watch people, or you watch The Greatest Dancer, I think with Cheryl Cole it was on, some of the contemporary stuff that I watch is like, I'm like, that's bad. But then people are just clapping it.
Bad.
So,
Okay, so I thought you meant bad in terms of good.
No. As in
the actual term bad.
As in rubbish.
Okay.
So I mean, it's because I don't necessarily understand the technical.
Can I throw something in here? Contemporary. Contemporary dance. Help me out. Give me an example.
What? How do you mean?
I can't dance.
I can't. No, you don't have to dance. But just give me an example of a contemporary dance. Like what is the contemporary dance?
It's a combination of ballet.
Okay.
I'd say slightly, and I don't know, like freedom of. I can't say freedom.
Would it be like the Nutcracker?
No, I think it would be like, from my perspective.
Okay.
It's watching somebody do ballet.
Yeah.
But they've been smoking weed before they do it.
Wow. Okay.
So they're really like just. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what?
It's like that.
It's quite a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So that's what I was going to ask you. So when you watch people,
better,
I'm sure you could have, because in my head's kind of going, wow, I'm thinking.
Or it's trying to do ballet.
Yeah.
When you're really tired. There you go.
No.
Yeah, give me
Google it. Come on, researcher in there.
Style of expression dance that combines elements of several dance genres, including modern, jazz, lyrical, and classical ballet.
Okay, yes. So is that similar to the Nutcracker, which is a big performance that happens every year?
That's ballet, isn't it?
Isn't that ballet?
Yeah, they're the only two that I know, the Nutcracker and Swan Lake.
Yeah.
Hi.
So it's a
So I
combination.
need to go back to being drug dealer, bouncing around.
No. Listen, I don't want any hate mail. No one hit me up
There's
complaining.
different styles of contemporary.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you just saw a bad show.
No, probably did see a bad show.
Yeah.
No, but this is what I'm saying. So people's interpretation of it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, I'll do some research into it, because I'm not well versed in dancing. I can't even dance myself. Like I've got the 2-step back.
Yeah,
and
we've
forth.
all got the 2-step, bro.
That's it.
That's
and a bit of a shoulder roll.
That's all you need.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
A little bit of two-step. Do you know what I mean?
That's about it.
There we go. So you were doing the so what we got here, the play school of contemporary.
Yeah, so
that was it.
In contemporary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went on from there to do. So you were doing obviously the modelling from very, very young.
Yeah.
And then
into the modelling, yeah.
Exactly. London College of Communication Fashion. Oh, that was a shoot. Okay. So and then Kids Coulds music video. Who were Kidda Coulds?
Kidda Coulds. He's got like a really big song out with Miss Banks. No.
Who's Miss Banks?
Do you know how old we are?
Oh my days.
Come on.
Well, I'm not that old. She's got to stop throwing me.
It's like,
do you know how old I am?
How old he is.
It's like radio music though.
I don't listen to radio.
There you go.
Oh wow.
So
I have playlists and stuff.
Yeah, I think we're at the age where we have playlists now.
Wow.
And we listen to what we know.
Because I saw Kid Cuds, but then I thought maybe it was supposed to be Kid Cudi, and then I was like, I'm not too sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm showing age, I'm showing genre of music, but what does Kid Cuds sound like?
Wow.
Don't shame us. Come on.
I'm in so
I've probably heard it. We've probably heard it.
I don't think I have heard of Kid Cuds.
Wow.
What type of music is it?
The way you keep saying it is what is.
It's
really
not Kid Cuds.
Oh,
he's saying it, yeah, not me.
You say it with so much confidence, and I'm just like.
Oh, it's not Kid Cuds.
He said he butchered names at the beginning.
He did, yeah.
Okay, so Kidda
He says
Cuds.
what he sees.
Kidda Coulds.
Kidda Coulds. What I said.
Cuds. Yeah. Wow, I think Kid Cuds sounds better.
I hadn't heard of him, but I said it right, so I'll take that.
Have you heard of him, Eugene?
No,
just be honest. Don't go. I'm gonna just Google it now. Just be honest.
Talib Kweli. That's as far as I get.
You're not gonna play a track?
Oh, you want me to play a track?
I want to hear like 10 seconds because
we're not allowed.
Free promo.
10 seconds.
No, we're not allowed, man. I'll show you some afterwards.
Yeah, I want to hear some Kid Cuds.
No. I'll show you some afterwards when we're off air.
My confidence in it. I was just reading what I saw on the screen and then tried to add the little spin to it. Hey,
we'll catch that after. Moving on. Let's see what else I can't pronounce in here or that I don't know of.
So is this a young artist then? Because I'm just trying to.
Yeah, he's quite young. Yeah.
How young are we talking?
I mean, like 26.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's excusable then.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I think what ballet really did help with my discipline because I didn't have my parents growing up. So my parents actually passed away when I was very young.
Okay.
So I think my dad died when I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
My mum died when I was 5.
Is it health reasons or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then so ballet did actually. I was brought up by my siblings, so that's kind of spoiled a bit. But ballet did help with just discipline in general.
Yep.
You know, it gave me structure, and routine, and it. I learned a lot that I was able to keep growing up. And I think with the breakdown that I spoke about earlier
Mm-hmm.
was because I had then lost my brother in 2017. And I think because over the years I was working so much, I never actually dealt with the loss that I had before. And it was kind of like a trigger. And that's when everything kind of took a toll.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ever spend the time to heal. I didn't spend time into myself. I was always on the go. It was like up and up and up.
Yeah.
And that's why I always talk about the importance of the balance of two. Having the balance of your inner and outer confidence, but being well, like putting your well-being first. That's what I like enforce so much, like to put the well-being of models first, especially because it's just so important, especially in the industry. It's just like so important. So yeah.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, I have a big family.
Mm-hmm.
My dad married 3 times, so it's like a family of 14.
Mm-hmm.
But I had quite a few losses as well.
Yeah.
So I've lost like 2 sisters,
Mm-hmm.
a brother, and my parents. But
in the household when you were growing up, how many?
Oh well, they're all old.
Yeah, so there was discipline.
Are you
And
the
there were
youngest one?
rules. You weren't just all eating.
You okay?
I mean, I was young.
Eating
and,
cereal
like,
for dinner and.
No. My siblings, like my oldest sibling is like 60 now.
Mhm.
Okay.
My
Cool.
oldest brother.
Yeah.
and he's like a granddad. My older sister is the same. She's like in her 50s. So I think I matured quite quickly, quite early. I was very mature for my age because I was always around my older siblings.
That's cool. That would have helped you out a lot moving as well.
Yeah,
no, I get that. With the catwalk stuff, so you're talking about feeding these models confidence. What sort of people do you attract to your the runway walk? Like, do you reach out to people and say, this is what I do, I can help you? And how did the people contact you? What sort of women would come to you? Or do men come to you as well?
No.
So okay. So women. What sort of women would come to you? So for instance, I'm a woman. I'm walking down the catwalk early, and I twist my ankle. I fall over. I find it really embarrassing, and I want to rebuild my confidence. Is that something you help them with?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. I think because I also mentor models, so a lot of my clients are from shows. I still do some like stage management on runway shows or like backstage work.
But I wanted to touch upon, which we touched upon before we came on, affirmations.
Yeah.
Because I'm a massive believer in affirmations, and I use affirmations in most of all the work I do. So I do fitness training with clients and stuff like that. But just in my own personal life, I went through a very dark period, and it was very much of, you got to build confidence from giving yourself that extra boost, in the mornings, and before you know it, you then embrace it and it becomes what you are. It's the same with, like, I was saying this to someone the other day, the imposter syndrome. In terms of, I know I'm linking affirmations to imposter syndrome, but in terms of, you tell yourself and you convince yourself that you are this person, and over time, because you do that, you then build the skills, the confidence to then be that person and live it. But tell me about your affirmations, and do you do teaching to the clients that you have, or is this just your own personal stuff that you do?
Do you know what? It was like on runways, I think I found when I was training, the worst thing or the most common thing that I had to deal with was the fear of falling in heels. Have
you ever fallen in heels?
I haven't personally, no. Okay. But I got that a lot. It was like, that's the only thing I'm scared about. I don't want to fall. And I'm always like, if you have that in your mind, you're most likely going to fall. Yeah. You really are. And it's from the basic stuff like that. Like, it was like, if you have that fear in your mind or that voice in your mind, like, you're going to feed into it. Yeah. And it's like, that's what leads into the power of the mind. Just being aware of your thoughts, just listening to them half the time, because as some of my women are walking down the runway, I can tell that they're not thinking, that they don't have the right thoughts intact.
How can you tell that? Give us this
tip. I think maybe it's just years of
doing it yourself.
Teaching,
and
what are they supposed to be thinking?
Like, I am powerful. I'm strong. This is my time to shine. This is my runway. Everyone, you're here for me. Just those kind of empowered thoughts. Not like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Yeah. A lot of the time it's, I'm scared. Oh my gosh, like, everyone's looking at me. Oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, and all that fear just builds up and builds up and builds up. So, just training the mind, and affirmations are so important.
I agree with that, because when I was doing the fitness competition, so I do bodybuilding competitions, and
I saw.
Is it right?
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, come on. But my first show, so we have to do similar to the kind of like a T-walk. So you walk out, you wave, do your poses at the start of the stage, and then you walk down to the front where the audience are. And I watched back my first show, and you could see I'm nervous as hell. You can see I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of just going with the flow, trying to do some poses and just panicking. And I think it goes back to what you said, when you can see that the model's not confident from just the mannerisms, and they're not thinking the right thoughts. And I think for me, especially first show, my thoughts were off ski. It was very much of, they're going to think I'm a fraud, I'm not good enough to be on the stage with these guys. And it's just about training the mind, as you said, to then bring that anxiety down so that you are powerful, you are confident, and you're good enough to be on any stage or any catwalk in your case, and go from there. So no, I find affirmations massive, and I think more people need to do them. You know, it's not arrogant by telling yourself that you're good at this or you're great or you're going to do great things. It's just giving you that extra pat on the back that's going to make you do it.
Exactly, yeah.
100%.
So you do them every day?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do them. Yeah, damn. Yeah. I gotta talk to myself sometimes.
No, exactly, because I don't.
But
people,
in the mirror, definitely.
Yeah, you mention it to some people, or it comes up, or they see it, and they say, "Oh, I'm not doing that. It's silly. I feel silly doing it." But it's, you've got to get over those,
of course,
boundaries in the first place, and then I think it's about trying to do something that's different, and then realizing, "Oh, this isn't a bigger deal," and it takes 5 minutes. You know, and it's going to benefit me in the long run, because with the power of the mind and everything else, it must work. But let me ask you,
it must work. It does work.
It does work.
Yeah. I always find it. I class it as energy. So if your mindset is switched on and you're focused, everything around you kind of works. The connections you have with certain people, the way people then go the extra mile for you, or things just happen. You know, they just happen because you are thinking positively. And I find it works. What are you searching for there?
No, it's just my niece sent me a book to read.
Go for it.
But it was just Becoming Supernatural.
Okay.
But then I must have gone to the what do you call it? The synopsis. So here we go. Here, this comes highly recommended if you're into quantum physics, metaphysics, heart, brain, coherence, or consciousness. And then I just read a couple of the pages when I went online to have a look, and it was kind of like that whole thing: how to become Zen. One with yourself, but first of all, be your own biggest fan, essentially.
Of course, your number one supporter is you.
Exactly.
And then your mum, your dad, and then who else is in your corner.
But then I can see also how what you're saying about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Whereby if you gas yourself up so much in one aspect, then you need to actually do the training and commit to whatever it is that you're suggesting you can do.
Yeah.
Because then that's when it might boil over into.
But then that happens to a lot of people, doesn't it? Where they gas themselves up and then they can't actually deliver. It happens in sports, it happens in life and stuff like that. But yeah, it's trying to find that balance. Which goes, everything goes back to balance. It goes back to affirmations. It goes back to building inner confidence. Self-love is big, which we got from the last podcast. That was massive.
Because the reason I say it with the modelling side of it is that because from an early age you've been very confident, like you say, very mature, doing things off your own back, and as you said as well, when you were scouted as a model, you're just minding your own business. So there are people that try and achieve, I want to be a model, models can look all different sorts of ranges, you know, you don't have to be beautiful, do you know what I mean? People can find no, do you know what I'm trying to say? There's models for all different sorts of things. No, there's models for all different sorts of things.
Sorry,
you have to let me finish.
That is the soundbite.
No, you got to let me finish.
Clip. Go on.
You got to let me finish. What I'm saying is about self-confidence, because you might be walking down the road not necessarily thinking that you're a good-looking person or that you fit a particular type of model construct, but then someone can pull you over and say, do you know what, you've got a really great look, I want come into my agency, but that person's never thought about modelling. They might not have the confidence, but then this is a great opportunity for them. So that's what I'm trying to get to, is that
no, you're right. I've seen is it Boohoo Men? They have the larger size guys, and some of those guys you're looking like, wow, is that what they're casting as a model these days? But it's just it's down to what they're looking for, and it's So what I'm saying is those types of ladies. Hole there, boy.
No,
you're not digging me out of a hole.
No, I'm digging myself.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ, people listen to that and they're going, "Wow, you train rich type people." But
because those sorts of ladies would have to come to you as well for the training,
definitely.
Because they're handpicked. Then they haven't necessarily. I've got this great opportunity, but I wasn't considering being a model. I don't know the first thing about it, so then they'd have to come to you, and then you obviously could teach them everything from scratch.
Yeah.
So you've got all different. So level 1s, 2s, 3s. How do you progress the ladies through your class?
I mean, my classes at the moment are just general classes, so it's open to all. And then maybe if I do private classes, then I'll be able to spend more time on each model. But all the classes are general. So yeah.
So some of the women in the classes, they're not models, are they? Is it just general women looking to build confidence? Do
you know what? I'll tell you a bit more about my story. So I actually went to prison.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yes, that happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. And I found in that time, you know, I met a lot of women that had the inner confidence but didn't have the outer confidence.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the industry, I met kind of confident women that showed confidence. And inside prison, I met so many strong women, like with so many deep stories that they were that were confident in themselves, in that nature. So actually on the wing, sometimes I would just do like, you know, we would just have free time.
Walking up and down.
And I would do, like just fun kind of classes with them. And I thought, that's when I realised these classes don't just have to cater to models.
And of course.
Because I kind of stepped out of the bubble of the industry and, you know, just met real women. And I was just like, this can work, you know?
Can we ask why you went to prison?
Yeah, well, when I lost my brother, I kind of, everything that I was working for, everything that I had got, everything that I had achieved kind of became meaningless, you know? I had experienced so much loss. I just thought,
forget this.
What is the point at this like moment? Like, what is the point? And I started handling kind of Class A, Class B, and then I got arrested, and then I went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
So
how long for?
2.5 years.
Okay. That you served, or you?
No, I served half.
Did half of that, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that was.
And which prison was it?
Oh wow!
No. I'm asking. I'm going to tell you why I'm asking. I'm going to tell you why I'm asking.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was in
open conversation.
I was in. Yeah, I guess so. I was in Bronzefield.
Okay.
Bronzefield. Okay.
And then I went to Send, HMP Send.
Okay. No, the only reason I was asked, I was interested, curiosity, because I was on a prison shoot 3 weeks ago at Holloway, but that's now decommissioned.
Yeah.
But for me, like, fair play to you for going and coming out and still moving on with that motion and confidence, because I've never been to prison, but I've been in a decommissioned prison and it was eerie as hell. It was horrible. I didn't like the environment, so that's what I'm saying. Like, big up to you for carrying on doing what you're doing.
It definitely motivated me and pushed me to keep going. Like, I've faced, as we've spoke about, so many obstacles. And I'm just like, you know, that's what I was like with the air conditioning earlier. I was just like, it would have to be on my day. Yeah. It's baking or it would be me. But it drives me. It really does drive me. And I'm actually mentoring ex-offenders now, as well as models. And what I really want to do is take my classes into prisons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm working on, because, you know, there's so much that happens to women inside prison.
Imagine.
You don't come out feeling even any much like a woman. You know, there's so much, I don't want to go into detail, but there's so much that happens in prison. And there's not much time or money invested into programs that help rebuild women. There's like, you come out and there's like organizations that are ready to get you into work. And it's like, hold on, like, am I even good enough to go to work? Like, there's so many obstacles, or there's so many barriers that's placed before stepping into work. So that's what I want to do with my classes. That's the vision.
That's a brilliant idea.
No, it sounds great.
No, that's an amazing idea.
It sounds great. For me, I'm that, because that's what they need. It's support. It's the guidance. It's an outlet where you can have open discussions and stuff like that. And maybe you can still do that through learning the catwalk and stuff like that, which is not just learning the catwalk, it's building confidence, it's allowing you to express yourself. So I don't know, a massive high five on that front.
I think I remember meeting a woman in there who done life, and she was getting ready to come out, and she was speaking to me, and she was just like, teach me how to do makeup, like, teach me how to feel like a woman again, like, I don't feel like a woman, like, teach me, you know, how to be more feminine. And that kind of, like, meeting women like that, I was just like, this is definitely something I really want to do, because it's not there's nothing that caters to women in that way that's out there right now.
So I think it's an opportunity. It's a massive opportunity, and it's something that you could probably get backing for as well, especially in this current climate where we are pushing black people forward at the moment.
Well, I mean, listen.
For me, it's something that you're taking your own journey, your own story, and you're spinning it on its head, and you're doing something positive. So for me, I think it's an opportunity, and it's something that I'm just thinking of it now, you can broaden it out. There's so many other opportunities in that, not just the catwalk itself or walking and practicing in the confidence and that. There are so many other things that could be added on to make that even better, so you get the whole holistic approach where it's not just we're just walking, there's other stuff, there's other opportunities.
There's definitely a lot in the vision. There's retreats, because there was so much time I spent in prison that was so necessary for my life. Like there was so much time away, like so much I was able to invest in myself, that it was a shame that it took prison for me to do that. So retreats are also, in the pipeline, but it's just taking, each step at a time.
I agree with you.
That was one of my questions. So what would the runway walk ideally look like in 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. I mean, the vision I have is just to build a strong army of women. Like, that's the visualized vision I can kind of give you. Definitely retreats. Definitely, I want to maybe bring out kind of like a brand for heels. You know what I'm saying? It's just, somewhere.
For what? Sorry, heels.
For shoes,
right, cool.
For heels.
Heels.
She
said heels.
I want to take it global. I think I want to take it global. I want to work in prisons around.
Because when you said 5 years, in my head was kind of going, the States, that would be awesome to branch over. Same language.
Do you know what I did see?
Go for it.
I saw prison pageants. Have you ever seen them?
No.
Women prison pageants.
In America?
In America, yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely, when I saw that, I definitely saw, that what I had is. Well,
I think it's an opportunity. There's nothing like that. I think there's so many programs that they have in prison that just don't work. And a lot of people come out of prison and they end up reoffending, not intentionally. It's just very much you come out and your options are quite limited. You're still trying to deal with, I've done 2 years or 5 years or 10 years and I need that support, that guidance. And if you don't have that, what tends to happen is you revert back to type, or you revert to doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, easily.
And then before you know it, you're back inside. I know so many people who have done that, where they've come out and it's just you're inside, outside, to the point where now they're in their 30s and they're kind of going, shit, I've just lost 10 years of my life. I've achieved nothing. What am I going to do now? I'm not going to get work. No one's going to employ you now. So I think stuff like that is massive. And if you can smash it here, I'm sure it will be able to be replicated in the States.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, that's easily done, to go. If I didn't have the vision, that's what I always teach, is so important to have a vision. Like, have that long-term image or picture of where you want to be. Like, don't put a limit on how long it's going to take. Just have that image, have that vision. And I have an image of strong women in heels as an army. That's more than enough for me, and that's what's kept me going. Because you come out of prison, I'm telling you, like, the first, I'd say, a month or so, it's just you go back to what you know, like what you came out to is what you go back to. That's all you know, unless you kind of have an open mind, try new things, get involved in things you've never done before. But it's like you said, it's so easy to just go.
Of course, it is. The stuff you just said there, for me, that just sounds tough. I've come out, I'm going to now throw myself in stuff that I've never been in before. It just sounds tough. It sounds really tough. But I don't know. For me, that's just, I find that's powerful. I find it's powerful, and I think good on you. And I'm hoping me and Johnny will see more of your videos. We're going to share them. We will tell people about them, because for me, that is positive. And I think we need that. We need that sort of thing. And you can maybe even branch it out to maybe guys, but not necessarily in heels for guys, but you can get. You're right.
No, I'm just waiting. I was going to say something.
What was you going to say?
Huh?
Just
I've forgotten now.
Say it, shoot from the hip, man.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish.
But I'm just saying you could branch out to guys. It doesn't necessarily have to be guys wearing heels. There are some guys who wear heels anyway.
No, that's why I asked earlier about if it's for men and women, because obviously you see like the I remember when pole classes started to become popular.
Yeah.
And because it used to be for strippers and hoes or whatever, and then it became a fitness thing.
Of course, you've got housewives, you've got yummy mummies doing it. But for fitness and just for, I think it's not even necessarily fitness, it's the confidence.
And the confidence.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who are not happy getting naked. People sleep and turn off the lights, rather than turn on the lights. I've seen you, you've seen me. And I think it's about, as you said, empowering the individual and embracing who you are. Yeah. And if you're not happy with who you are, we've got the internet. You can change who you are from doing research and speaking to people, networking and stuff.
Yeah, but I could see there's definitely some men that would be interested in doing that as well.
What, the high heels?
No, the classes, the runway classes, all of that sort of stuff. Just the
of course,
empowerment side of things and just be yourself.
Because I even think you could even move it from, so you could have, I love this, we're now turning into a business now. It's fantastic. Look at this. The brain is working. But no, I was thinking, so you could have different facets of your business. So you could have the empowerment workshops, you can have the catwalk stuff, and you just have different elements where you're giving people the opportunity to learn some of those skills, but not have to jump in the deep end. Like, say, for me, I'm not going to wear heels and do catwalking, but we can probably sit down and you can tell me about certain affirmations, or how can I channel certain views and
like
opinions
life coach
and
stuff.
Yeah. And if you can bolt that into the business, it's big time.
Yeah,
big time. Business is grown.
Thanks.
Look at that. You sat down today. It's just gone from this to boom.
Just going back, going back to you said you had a lot of time, obviously, when you're inside.
Yeah.
Time to write lyrics, which when I was listening to your music, because you're a rapper as well, right? Or you used to be. So when did you used to do the music?
Round about the time I was modeling and stuff.
Okay.
I think the last ever song was a song that I done for my brother, so that's about 2017. Yeah. I actually learned to play the guitar when I was inside.
Did you?
Yeah, they had classes.
That's quite cool.
Can you sing?
Yeah.
So you entertaining people and like just playing the guitar and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, I guess it was entertainment inside. Yeah, but yeah, I did write. I write quite a bit because music for me was therapy.
Yeah.
My whole life it was always therapy. It was I never done music to make it or to release tracks. There are tracks out there, as you've heard.
Yeah.
But
shall I play one?
Yeah, can you play one? Because it was either going to go two ways, this conversation. It was either he was going to play it, or Eugene was going to beatbox, and then you were going to rap.
I'll tell you which one you're going to play. Runners.
Which one do you want me to play?
Oh gosh.
Which one are you proud of?
All of them.
But I mean, like where you play it and you're like, yes, that's the shit. Kid Cuds around here, like that. No.
Who's your brother? Is he one of these tracks?
My brother. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a sad song though.
No, I just wondered which track it was, so I'll listen to that later as well.
Oh, okay, it's Rookie, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. The song's called Rookie because I lost my friend Rookie and I lost my brother at the same time. Yeah, like I said. So.
We'll go with Runners though, because technically you got bars as well and the flow's decent.
Okay, well, yeah, that was the time when I was, handling my
on the road, on the road, living the life. Let me see. Ooh, who produced this?
Zion. Wow. Excuse me for the language.
Oh no, it's fine. I thought you was going to start rapping. I was like, wow, we're getting a live performance, man.
Live PA.
Yeah.
Where are we? Come in.
I was like, yes.
My runners are running around, I'm top of the yard, man, smoking aloud.
Yes.
Them man looking for clues, come right,
This is just...
no sound. 3 5 bills, tell them be quiet. They don't want riots, running around.
Here we go.
Running around, running around, it's up with the yard, man, smoking aloud. Them man looking for clues, come right, no sound. 3 5 bills, tell them be quiet. They don't want riots, running around, running the color. trapped in a stuck in the gutter. I walk in the building, I'm covered in pilling, but still in my
You hear it? Yeah, you hear it. You hear it. So did you get a video for this?
I didn't know.
Because we would add the video on to the podcast episode to be a little snippet.
No.
And
like I explained, it was all therapy. Like everything I went through, I always wrote a song or music. So
that's amazing.
It's a release. But no, that's wicked. For me, I don't know, listening to your journey, it's awesome. Because there's so many different areas, there's so many things going on. But what's quite nice is that you've taken things from each thing that's happened in life, and you're now using it to go forth. So it's a high five. He says it's a high five.
With the army and moving women, army of women moving forward. Are you a one-woman army at the moment, or have you got people around you that you work with regularly?
I am a one-woman army.
One-woman army. Yeah. So, what's a day in the life of you all about? I mean, it's obviously networking.
Yeah.
And when are your classes based? Are they daytime, evenings? How do they work?
Yeah. So, lockdown wasn't great.
You know, no, I bet.
The studios were like 1 minute we're open, next minute we're not. So, I have a session booked for the end of this month, 25th on Friday. We're based at Husky Studios in Elephant and Castle, and it's usually evening sessions from 5, 6. So yes, hopefully the studios stay open. Okay. Because then we'll have regular classes, which is every week.
That's tough, man. But how? Other than that, how was lockdown for you then?
Lockdown,
from the beginning.
I'd done classes online,
like Zoom classes,
but they just weren't the same. Okay. Yeah, like Zoom classes.
Was it 1-to-1, or was it you had a number of different screens and it was just okay? I've got to watch in. Okay, this one's doing that correct. This one's
a
not.
bit of both. Okay. I had a few 1-to-1s because I was still mentoring. It was but it just wasn't the same, you know. So I worked with a couple of charities and organizations to just offer any support that I could to vulnerable women at that time. So kind of just worked on a lot of content online. I actually came out of prison 2020, so I came out to lockdown.
Oh jeez.
So it was just like a roller coaster since then. So now I feel like let's grounded. Go, let's get this, because it's just been a mess.
You came out of prison into lockdown.
Yeah, I came out.
Well, is there any sniff of there was something going on?
No, I came out to like I'm free. Then I was like, hold on, no, I'm not. Because I was on house arrest. I was actually on house arrest when I came out. So the beginning of 2020. So when everyone else kind of got locked down, I was like, everyone's on house arrest with me, like this is cool. And then we weren't kind of moving anywhere, like it kind of stayed like that, and I was like, no, this is not cool anymore. Like, I've got things to do. But like I said, another obstacle.
That's crazy. That's mad. That's mad. That is mad.
I feel like I'm free now though.
Well, I hope so.
For now.
Until September.
What, you think we're getting another one? You think another lockdown?
Until September, man.
I don't think so. I think this is going to be the last one. I think this is the last one, and we will move on from this, and then things will be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think things will be fine.
I really do.
I think this is the last one, because I know we had a conversation for the last lockdown, but even that last lockdown, there was rumours that there would be another lockdown. There's none at this present time.
Yes, there are.
No, I've not heard any.
There was rumours that we were going into 4-week lockdown, and then we went into another 4 weeks now. And
where
and
now
they're
hearing this information.
I don't,
because I'm listening to LBC and they're not saying this.
Well, that's probably right, because I see it in the mainstream. That's where the rumours come from.
Yeah.
So the mainstream are the rumours. If that makes sense.
It makes sense, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be the last one, and then fingers crossed we can move on from there. Because if not, it will.
There'll be like there'll be loads of people, like even when you're inside, that have been in lockdown, that have been suffering.
Of course,
that are going to be, so that the customer base is there, and there's so many different people that you can try and attract and speak to. But with the charities that you've been working for, with the is that with the young offenders, or do you do that through?
That was just me reaching.
That was just you off your own back.
Yeah, offering what support like support that I could at that time, because you know all the charities had moved online as well, which was hard because usually they work with their women, you know, face to face.
Yeah, of course.
So it was just offering like just short workshops, 1 hour, 30 minutes of just empowerment, talking to them, encouraging them during that time, because I was also in contact with a lot of people inside, and inside was like they were like 23-hour lock bang up. That was like coming out for 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
So it was like working with women that had come out to lockdown as well. You know, it was just so that's what I spent the majority of my lockdown doing. So.
It must be tough for mental health reasons. It must be because even that performance we did with the Black Mental Health Group or Men's Health Group. So I did a Zoom performance. And I was playing this guy, Kwame, and I was just coming out of prison to a lockdown. And it was trying to deal with finding family, friends, girlfriends upset, and mum and dad have got issues. Mum's now passed away and all the other stuff. And that was even challenging, just trying to get my head around that. But then even talking about it now, and you're sitting there going, that's kind of reality for some people, you know, going through that whole situation. And if they don't have the support, it goes a few ways. One way could be suicide, one could be reoffending. I need to get back into my safety area, which is prison, you know. So it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't shy away from that. I'm quite honest on that front. It's not good. Not good, he says.
With the talk about the modelling side of things again, the choreography side of it.
Yeah.
I'm interested in how that works. So is this choreography dance-based that you do, or is it choreography... is it still called choreography, like teaching somebody how to carry their body, to how to walk?
Well, it's because the choreo that I do is a combination of kind of dance. It's not really... Yeah, kind of dance and runway kind of walk. But it's more like using the poses into some sort of choreography, so it's not hardcore dancers. It's just like just using posing and positions into a rhythmic kind of flow of things. So like you said, I try and use everything that I've done in kind of in the industry or before prior, and I try and use everything that I've learned now. So that's...
So I'm not gonna... There's not enough room to walk in here anyway. But if I was gonna walk, how would you tell me to walk? Like what are the tips? No, not men. I'm a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here.
I'm a woman. I'm here. No. I'm not gonna walk. It's not like I don't want anybody to say, right, get up and do this.
He's got heels in his mouth.
Yeah, I thought so. I knew it.
So we're about to go down the catwalk. What? Because I'm interested, because when you see, obviously, in all walks of life, people that are experts in something see things completely differently. So if you're walking down, a woman might be walking and think, I'm carrying myself, and you'll just look at her and think, no, you're doing it all wrong. Like, that's what I'm asking. So what's the right way to walk when you walk down the catwalk? Because I see legs swinging round and in front of each other, chin up, shoulders back. Is that... you know?
I mean, posture is very, very important. Posture, I think I teach CBT, so C... confidence first in the mind, knowing that you're about to step out, you know, having that confidence in the mind first, and then P, posture, and then there's a number of kind of, I go through to head, shoulders, knees and toes, but
a good tune,
making sure
I know that one.
Sure that you have, you know, your posture on point. And then T, there's techniques. So there's a number of techniques. I'd use this one because usually when you're walking normally, we usually take larger steps. And I think when you're walking in heels and on the show, it's people are usually automatically kind of walk faster or walk fast and take large steps. And it looks off on the camera a lot of the time. So what I say is take your time. Like that time on the runway is your time. Like it feels like it's going, maybe it feels like you're walking slow, but you're not. You know, so I'd usually say take smaller steps and take your time.
To enjoy the experience.
Yeah, enjoy it. And that photograph that you take at the end of the runway, like, that's your time to shine.
Okay.
So usually prepare or practicing your pose before, instead of just freelancing it, like, usually helps as well. So
which sounds the same as it sounds very much the same as the fitness competition stuff, where we had to do rehearsals weeks and weeks and weeks on routines, and then, as you said, you walk down to the end, it's that present now and show people, boom, I'm here, and then you head off afterwards. But no, that's positive. I wrote down CPT. I will use that with clients. And what I saw on your videos was the stick method. So the stick goes behind the back, and that's what just posture, chest up, chin up. Yeah. Your vision is forward. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, with your posture and the alignment of your spine.
Back.
And I get my granny to do that. Stick behind her back and just walk around the house.
It's funny, you'll find me in my house just
with the stick.
Yeah. And
I thought you was going to bring the stick. When I saw the videos, I saw stick. But no, it is useful, because I've got a session tomorrow, a PT session. I've got a client. My posture's not great, but I've got a client and he's like that. And I think stuff like that would help, even if it's just for walking over here, walking over there, in between our sets of exercise. Stuff like that will help, because it'll get him used to lifting up his chest. And
I think because what I found with women is usually it's kind of like they would kind of stick the chest out, and then like it's kind of over exaggerated a bit. So when you have that
stick,
I call it posture pose, but when you have the posture pose, it just gives you more of a natural position. Okay.
I definitely will give that a try. I'll give it a try tomorrow.
Posture pose.
I won't say posture pose, because then he'll be like,
pose.
Dude, what's wrong with you?
Pose.
What did you say?
Pose.
Posture pose.
Pole, like a pole.
Yeah, I call it that.
Okay, what's I saying? Posture pose.
You're saying pose, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pose.
Okay.
Lost in translation.
Right, calm down. I had brace for 4 years, man. I mumble some words. I forget certain things.
I had a brace.
No, I had brace for 4 years.
I don't know how long I had mine for.
There you go.
There we go, mate. I've got nice teeth now.
Retainers for 2 years.
It says here, Afro Hair and Beauty Live 2019 stage manager.
Yeah.
Stressful?
No, because I done Afro Model Awards for about 4 or 5 years. About 4 or 5 years, roundabout. Okay. And that was managing.
So what did the stage will it consist of?
So it was it's managing the models. So it's managing about 200 models per show, or more actually sometimes. And it's just like everything, because the shows that I do is usually like, if it's an award show, there's more than one thing going on. There's normally performances, there's the awards, then there's the models, and then there's the catwalk. So everything to do with models would be under my management. So we will have the castings even before that, would be, and the auditions, and then on the day would be the rehearsals. Managing backstage, so the designers, the makeup artists, the runners, just operate all the operations for backstage will be kind of under my management. And
it's enjoyable.
Making sure the cues. I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
So it's something that you're going to want to do again in the future?
Yeah, it's definitely. I missed the show last week, which I was so upset about. I had to choose.
Okay.
It was like barbecue or
casting
work. And I was just
it was hot last week. It was hot.
Yeah, but the show was so good.
Yeah, man, I'm saying work. Well, it's cool.
I know, but
I get chicken and chips another time. We head down
England, so it might rain.
No, it's been a long time since I had seen my family and stuff. Sense. So I thought, I regretted it after that. Barbecue wasn't really all that. Yeah.
So with that, you mentioned casting. I'm going to probably throw this out here, but I watched a few times America's Next Model.
Next
Top Model. And there's a few moments where it's quite brutal in terms of this girl or that girl, and it's kind of cattish, in terms of, is it like that?
I mean, it's like that at the top.
Okay, so at the top is very much of...
Yeah, so a lot of kind of like the shows... No, it is like that. Yeah, it is like that. It's cutthroat, yeah.
Okay.
But at the top. But I think now it's changed because, like you said earlier, there's so many different types of models now.
Yep.
So I think now it's not as
bad.
I think again in this day and age with the whole not that this happens in it, but I'm saying with the whole Me Too movement and Be Kind and all that sort of good stuff, is you can't take the risk of upsetting or polarizing someone.
Oh yeah, because you'll be cancelled.
Yeah, because you'll be cancelled at the end of the day. So it's just all about motivating and pushing people forward.
Saying that though, have you heard of a guy called Kevin Samuels?
No.
You've never heard of Kevin Samuels?
Oh, fucking hell.
Alright, so he is he used to be a fashion stylist for men and this guy.
Okay, yeah.
And he has
you've never heard of him?
Oh no.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. So we're turning it around on you now.
Okay.
You've never heard of him.
But he's got a channel. He's got a YouTube channel, and also he does live streams. But he has he does it. I think he's done it with guys as well. But he gets women to call in on various different topics. So some of the topics could be,
snap!
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh,
yeah. All right.
There you go.
I know who you're talking
He does.
about.
He looks different there than he does.
Oh, does he look better on?
No. Look, from those top ones, he looks a bit different to the video that I saw.
No, not that guy.
Oh, is that not him?
That's a different black guy.
Oh.
No. Which black guy are you looking at?
It says Kevin Samuels here.
No, that's the guy on the right. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was making his money off shitting on guys. And then he set himself up because he cheated on his girlfriend and then had to release a video on YouTube saying, oh, no, I'm really sorry about doing this. I got my wife here and I've done bad stuff. I can't remember the guy's name. If you spin the laptop round.
Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson.
Yeah.
Do you know Derek Jackson? This guy to the... Okay, you lost it. The guy to the right.
I have glasses on and I still can't see that far.
This guy.
Oh, I've seen the videos that you're talking about.
Oh, the Kevin Samuels one. So the Kevin Samuels ones are good because it's quite controversial because you did say about the cancel culture and stuff like that. And he does come up with some stuff where he's rating women.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen them.
And I've watched it religiously at the moment with my brother, and we've sat down and most of the stuff he says, we're like 80 to 90%. He's right, you know? You come on a live and there's 20,000 people watching, you come on and your hair's undone, and you're saying you want a high-class man. Which high-class man's going to go for you? You know, it's not going to happen. I just find it's quite interesting, but I got into that subject because you said about cancel culture. For me, I could see him being cancelled fairly soon. Or unless he doesn't get cancelled because, no disrespect, I'm throw out here, that he's doing that with black people, and it's not white and black or black and white. It's very much of no one's really going to complain. Sensitive subject. Yeah, I know.
No,
it's gone again. I don't know if I could go down that road.
It is a very sensitive subject, but each their own. Like I said,
I think that's the case. That's just me. I'm front from the hip. I'm not. I don't have any dogs in this fight anyway. But I'm just saying what I'm taking from what I'm listening to. A lot of the stuff that he's coming out with. Yes, it does make sense, but that's stuff that you'll get cancelled for because you're shooting down women on a platform where everyone can see this. You know. But hey.
But no, yeah, I'm all for pushing people forward. I don't know why anybody would want to criticize anybody. Self-criticism. If you say to somebody, what are the bad points of me? Talk to me about it. Then you're opening yourself up to have that discussion. But people shouldn't like that. Just go out there and like judge people, attack people.
But they're calling in.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, it's not like
they're asking for.
Oh,
yeah,
right, there
it's
you
not
go.
like he's going. Oh yeah, can I have this woman? He's not. He's put a question out there. People call in, and then where they go wrong though is they're not thinking of what they're saying. And it's not like we're just sitting here having a conversation. It's very much of we're having a conversation to more people. And they're saying stuff where it just doesn't make sense, you know? Like, there's one lady talking about, oh, I want this type of guy, I want that type of guy. And then he was like, okay, so how many kids do you have? And she's like, I got 4 kids by 4 different guys. And he's like, okay, cool. So your oldest boy, would you be happy with him going out with someone like yourself? Oh, no, I wouldn't. He needs to get a proper woman, this and that. And you're kind of going, okay, cool. So why would you then be an advocate for this high maintenance man and this? It doesn't make any sense. But it's interesting watching. I'm sure he'll get cancelled soon.
Is that a YouTube thing or is it a program?
I'll send it to you because there's some really good ones. No, you're gonna watch it.
I don't watch it.
You're gonna watch it.
No.
I was gonna share it in the group before, but then
send me some alien stuff.
I'm gonna share it to you anyway because it's interesting. But
right, so there's so much on there. I want to bounce around on it.
That's fine. I wrote down before he jumps in. I wrote down a quote which was, "Time is the highest and most valuable currency in life."
Yes.
And especially listening to your story itself, you're embracing that, aren't you?
Yes.
110%.
Yes. 100%.
Because I like that. I'm going to steal your line. That will be my next story I'm going to have on my Instagram. Yeah, I like that. Because it is true, though. It's one of the most important things going, you know. It's time.
Yeah.
And we don't value it, you know. We count, especially with work, you count down time. You're like, I can't wait to get out of this place, or I can't wait for this. I want to go on holiday. And you're just watching your life fly by with not really pushing forth. Everything's an opportunity.
Yeah.
I think also for me, it was like I've just learned to appreciate time.
Yeah.
So and then
through things.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is, so where you were so hectic, doing all these different things before you went to jail, was there time of reflection when you were in there? Like the plan that you have now, was that did that come from spending your time in jail and having time to think and plan it out, or did you 100%. Always have that vision?
I built on it inside. I think a lot of the time, because when I was out, I was just doing classes and that was it. There was no plan. It was just, we're just doing classes every week. That's what we're going to do. But when I was inside, I actually wrote my first business plan.
Okay.
And that was for this vision. So yeah, a lot of the time inside I spent building the vision. So
the business plan, is that something that you wrote yourself, self-taught, or did they have people help you? A
combination of two. Yeah, a combination of the both. But mainly, it was mainly just time in my cell. Like my cell, people would walk in and think she's lost the plot. Okay. Because I would get like newspapers and magazines. If it had the word confidence, or if it had anything to do with women, or if it had, anything in relation to the vision, anything that helped me kind of visualize it in a bigger sense, I would stick it up on my cell. You know, I created the bubble of the runway walk in my cell, so that was all me inside. So when I came out, I had that tunnel vision and I had that focus because, it's been a couple of years, you know, building on it. So it was mainly time inside.
Do you journal now?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Every day?
Every 2 to 3 days.
Maybe 2 to 3 days. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's because I think we were talking about it on one of the other pods that we did. Just the journaling aspect of it, because obviously I used to write lyrics as well, music from when I was younger, when I used to do all of that sort of stuff, and I did find it really liberating because there's an awful lot of stuff that I used to write that never saw the light of day, not even to my friends or the guys in the group, and it would just be to write it. But then obviously, like you say, you get caught up and you're doing things, and now I'm working, I'm flat out, but I don't do it. But at the time, I loved it and I enjoyed it. So maybe that's something that I'll have to start doing again.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I think it was the last podcast we talked about. Because for me, I used to write down stuff all the time. My dad used to say to me, always write down good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, but just journal it. And then it's a way to kind of express what's on your mind at that present time. And then if it is something negative or whatever, you can then revisit it later stage and kind of go, okay, that wasn't that tough, you know, it wasn't. And you can take the learning from that experience to make yourself better thereafter. So I used to do it more. I don't do enough of it anymore. I do voice notes now and then. I leave voice notes to myself, like a madman talking to myself all the time. But just talking about certain things that's happened in my day, so that I can listen to it maybe 6 months, 7 months down the line, and then kind of just go, okay, I understand what my thought process was at that time, but it's changed, and kind of just dissecting the information and just trying to make myself better. Because all it's about is self-development, you know?
Yeah,
I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they don't focus on developing themselves. So whether it's good, bad, or it's just mediocre, you have to learn from it. You know, same with performances, acting and stuff. Sometimes you're going to have a wicked performance, and then sometimes you're going to have a performance where it's off-ski. You learn from both of those to then make yourself better going forth.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I still journal now. it's funny because I remember my like pages at the beginning of the year and the things that I'd kind of worry about. Like, for example, even stuff like this, like promotion and stuff. And it's just like, you know, just reading back the things that I worried about then and like how I've overcome it and the completely different things that like I have on my mind now. So I definitely think, yeah, it's really good to journal, to to helps with self-development.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I have another idea for you. It sounds like a book you should be writing.
Okay.
I think it's
Good book.
Yeah, it'd be a good book, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I've
do
been
you
told
think
before
social media
yeah
and that connection to self-hate and depression and everything else, like, do you find it easy to navigate social media and block all of that stuff out and just move forward with it? Because obviously you say you're mentoring young offenders and you're mentoring these women and everything else. Is that something that you have discussed with them about not trying to be something that you're not?
Yeah, I think more with models, like the young models now, is kind of a topic that I have to kind of, you know, touch on quite a lot. But for me personally, as you can see, my page is strictly just the Runway Walk. I don't have a personal page. I don't really see the need for it, because my business is my brand. Like, you know, my business is kind of is me, you know. So my story, my life story has birthed my business. So I don't really see the need for me to have like a separate account or anything. And it's just, I'm just focused on building, like creating quality content. And so I'm not so much fixated on quality or numbers, or I just want the quantity on there. And then, yeah, kind of like I have a little plan of going forward, but I don't really see the need to be on social media as much. Yeah. Do
you not think you'd have, well, yeah, everything you do is from a business perspective.
I mean, yeah, that's it, exactly. I'm on social media, obviously seeing what's out there, seeing who's out there, like, but I don't spend that much time on there. I think being in prison kind of changed that for me, because I wasn't obviously using social media or my phone much inside. So I kind of have come out using, I now use it
a lot less.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I'm trying to escape from using the phone as much. I find we're tied to it, you know. There's people I know who wake up in the morning and they're logged in.
Yeah, I used to
the end of the day, and you're just like, bloody hell, when do you actually have time to not be bombarded by all these messages of most of it's rubbish, especially on the Instagram. It's a lot of rubbish where people are putting the best pictures up of themselves or the best things that they're doing. You're not really getting that person, you know. You're not actually understanding what's going on in that person's life. And I think we need to kind of sometimes step back, similar to that, where you use the phone now and then. We get used to knocking on people's doors and seeing how people are, or even just picking up the phone and calling them, rather than, oh, I saw your stories, you must be okay. Which is amazing, because there's people who watch people's stories but don't say hi and stuff. I find that really weird. Sorry, I'm a bit weird. I've got a few friends like that who watch every single one of your stories but never call you, you never see them, and you're kind of
that's people watching, isn't it?
That's weird. For me, it should be very much.
Have you ever sat at a bus stop and just watched someone?
Not really, bro. I'm listening to music.
When I don't say someone,
I'm listening to
people.
What's that guy's name again?
No, don't.
He ain't listening to that. He ain't.
You promote him too much.
Exactly.
But no, I don't do that. People watching, no, man. No, I don't.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good one.
Shoot.
UK. No, I'm going to butcher this.
Oh, no, I'm scared.
Davido.
Was it a concert?
VIP host manager.
Yeah, so I think it was a concert. Yeah, working backstage.
Meet anyone decent?
I mean,
because these are all great opportunities to
network.
Yeah, to network. I was thinking, did you meet anybody inside that you've made a connection with that could potentially help you when they come out or are out?
Yes, I met a young lady who was a vegan, and she was really into like nutrition and you know, a lot of the affirmations and just living a healthy lifestyle. So I think in the long run, I'm hoping next year or the year after, we're hoping to do the retreats in Cyprus. So I've kept her as a contact to maybe to have her as a guest, to do some sessions or some cooking sessions, or, you know, we're in discussions with that. So I did actually meet some women inside.
That's brilliant, because the whole concept of taking like an education piece around the country to the different prisons, then obviously branching out into different aspects, like you say, with the cook and everything else, it's amazing. Because one of my sisters, I think I told you before, she used to work for Dogs Trust, so she would go around all of the prisons and speak to the inmates about how you treat your animals, like more time with dogs that fight each other, and kids that have gone to jail or doing time for like putting cats in microwaves, as bad as it sounds. Like that's what they had to deal with, you know. And she goes and re-educates. So they've got stuff like that, which is obviously for animals, but with the whole confidence side of things that you bring to it, I think that'd be a brilliant idea. Well, it is a brilliant idea.
No, I think you just need the pitch.
Yeah.
Because you need funding.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying it's a business manager.
Well, she knows what she's doing.
I've got more than just my Instagram page going.
Yeah, exactly. No.
I'm sure you did. You've got clients.
Yeah. What is there anything else outside that you want to be able to share with people and tell us that you've got going on or coming up?
Not at the moment. No. Just to look forward to the studio classes being back up again, running again. Like I said, Husky Studios, Elephant Castle is always in the same place. If you just have just keep a lookout on the Instagram, then that's where I upload mainly.
Website?
Yes, so it's the runwaywalkuk.com.
Cool. And then YouTube, you've got a YouTube channel as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to, so as of now, I will be filming a lot of the classes, or the classes that I can. So that will be on my YouTube, which is Rebecca Aminiel. Yeah, well,
all of the links to all of the stuff that you do will be on our page anyway.
Cool.
It'll be up and running.
Yeah, and as Michael said, when you do bits and bobs, then we'll promote it when we see it. And stuff like that, because we like to try and help people out. I mean, we haven't got the greatest following, but we try and do as much as we can, and push it out there. So I mean, I just want to thank you for coming on.
No problem.
It's
it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It went left, but it's been really, really good. And I don't know, for me, I love listening to people who have got inspirational stories, but then also looking to do positive things thereafter. So it's a massive.
I think it's you're the epitome of what this is, because it's you've been through hard times when you're younger.
Definitely.
You've been to jail. You've come out and you're still smiling. You've come out into lockdown.
I know.
And you're still moving. And then we'll be 18 months after lockdown, since we went into lockdown, and we're on podcast and you're talking about the stuff that you're still going to be doing. It's
inspiring.
Yeah.
We've had 3 phone calls.
Wow.
We've had 3 phone calls. These guys edit that bit out. You'll have to edit this bit out.
People will be saying, wow, what did I free?
Yeah, 3 phone calls.
Oh, sorry.
No.
It's calling me like that,
mate.
But
like I have to just say, like, if you go through anything, if you face any obstacles, like, just keep going. And I always say, look at the bright side of everything. Like, I could have gone to prison and thought this was it. You know, I've got a record, I can come out, I can't work. You know, I came out, I had the attitude, I wanted to, you know, be successful. I wanted to do all the things that I had in mind. I had the vision. Keep your vision. Keep the tunnel vision. Don't get distracted, you know, and value time. Time is so precious. It is the highest currency in life. So
See, on that note, we can wrap up. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And as always, yeah, buddy.
Thank you.